Why do cats and dogs always fight? Whether you are a pet owner or not, you've probably seen it happen. Chairs knocked over, tails puffed up, hisses, barks, and sudden chaos everywhere. Is it instinct, rivalry, or something darker hiding beneath their playful paws? What if I told you the real reason isn't what you think, and that this legendary feud might even be a total myth? Today, we're diving into the surprising science that sparks debate among animal lovers and scientists alike. And if you stick around until the end, there's a bonus fact waiting that will completely flip how you see this rivalry. Here's the first surprise. Research from over 1,000 multi-pet households shows that cats and dogs don't spend their days at war. Most of the time, they ignore each other, occasionally crossing paths without a hint of tension. Some even engage in playful interactions, chasing each other around the room or sharing toys, showing that their relationship can be surprisingly lighthearted. That famous phrase, fighting like cats and dogs, has become part of everyday language, but it's largely fueled by cartoons, movies, and cultural storytelling rather than real-life behavior. In reality, the dynamic between cats and dogs in shared homes tends to be far softer than what we've been led to believe. Owners report that moments of conflict are often brief and situational. A dog might bark at a sudden movement, or a cat might swat when it feels startled. But these incidents rarely indicate deep-seated animosity. Instead, many pet owners notice long stretches of coexistence marked by mutual tolerance. Dogs and cats can inhabit the same space, eat near each other, and even share windowsills or favorite resting spots without any drama. Observing these interactions over time, researchers discovered that much of the perceived rivalry comes from isolated incidents being generalized into a larger myth. In essence, cats and dogs have the capacity to adjust to each other's presence, calibrating their behavior based on the other's temperament and routine. They learn signals, habits, and boundaries, often forming a rhythm that works for both sides. And it gets more interesting. Dig deeper, and the statistics reveal even more about how cats and dogs coexist. Nearly 70% of these pets sleep in the same room, showing a level of comfort and tolerance that contradicts the long-held stereotype of constant conflict. Over 60% of households report that cats and dogs engage in play together, ranging from gentle chase games to more boisterous interactions, where both parties seem genuinely entertained. While dogs are generally outgoing and eager to interact, cats exhibit more selective social behavior, often choosing when and with whom they engage. A cat may ignore a dog, turning its back or lounging at a distance. But this behavior doesn't indicate hatred. It's a reflection of feline personality, cautious, independent, and highly aware of their surroundings. Dogs, in contrast, tend to approach the world with enthusiasm, seeking connection and engagement. Understanding these differences helps explain why some interactions appear tense, while others remain harmonious. Observing daily routines, mealtimes, and resting habits, it becomes clear that the majority of these pets carve out personal spaces while also finding moments of shared activity. They develop an unspoken system of coexistence, negotiating proximity and attention in ways that keep tension low and predictability high. But wait, cats bonding with humans just like dogs is a whole other surprise. We all know dogs are loyal, often following their owners around, greeting them at the door, and showing affection openly. But cats, around 65% of them, form secure emotional bonds with their owners as well, bonds similar to the attachment babies form with their caregivers. These connections may not be as outwardly demonstrative as a dog's wagging tail or excited jumps, but they run deep. A cat might nuzzle your hand, curl up on your lap, or even follow you silently from room to room, signaling trust and attachment in ways that are subtle yet significant. These bonds reveal that cats are far from indifferent or cold. They observe, assess, and respond to their humans with nuance. Unlike dogs, who often wear their emotions on their sleeves or paws, cats communicate through quiet gestures, a soft purr, a gentle blink, or choosing to rest near you rather than on you. They have their own rhythm, their own way of letting you know they value your presence. Science is only beginning to uncover how these bonds shape feline behavior, influencing not just daily interactions, but also stress responses and overall well-being. When a cat trusts you, it's an intricate mix of curiosity, caution, and genuine affection, showing that emotional depth in cats often goes unnoticed because it's expressed so differently from dogs. Which reminds me, sometimes the conflict isn't between them, it's in how they talk. Much of the legendary tension between cats and dogs comes from misreading signals rather than genuine hostility. For example, a dog's tail wag usually means excitement or friendliness, a clear and bold signal. A cat's tail wag, on the other hand, can indicate irritation, uncertainty, or focus. When these signals cross paths, misunderstandings flare, and what looks like a feud is often just a misinterpreted message. Dogs are expressive, upfront, and eager to engage, while cats are more reserved, careful, and understated in their communication. This difference in communication style explains a lot about why pets clash. A dog may bound toward a cat, expecting play, while the cat arches its back, flicks its tail, or hisses, not out of hatred, but to signal boundaries. Learning to read these cues changes the dynamic dramatically. Understanding the feline subtleties and pairing them with the dog's enthusiastic signals can prevent many perceived conflicts before they even begin. Observing body language, vocalizations, and even the speed at which each pet approaches or retreats, owners can see that so-called rivalry is often a language barrier rather than aggression. By tuning into these signals and noticing patterns over time, dogs and cats can coexist peacefully, even enjoying each other's company, because the friction is rarely about malice, it's about translation. But how do we get there? Start at the beginning. Introductions. Introducing dogs and cats properly can completely change how they interact. Scientists have found that puppies introduced gradually to cats, especially before they reach 12 weeks, are far more likely to grow up calm, friendly, and confident around their feline companions. Think of it like meeting someone new. You take your time, keep things gentle, allow them to sniff and explore, and give them space to retreat if needed. These early encounters allow both animals to observe, adjust, and start forming trust on their own terms. Rushing the introduction can backfire. A puppy that's too energetic may overwhelm a cat, while a startled cat might hiss, swipe, or run, creating fear instead of friendship. These initial interactions often set the stage for years of behavior. Patience and respect during this period give pets the chance to form positive associations, understand boundaries, and gradually feel comfortable sharing the same space. Over time, pets introduced carefully often develop mutual tolerance, unexpected companionship, and even playful interactions that delight owners. Timing, calm energy, and careful observation form the foundation of lasting harmony. Letting pets explore, sniff, and retreat as they wish mirrors how they naturally learn social cues. Multi-pet households that follow this approach report fewer conflicts, more moments of curiosity, and a surprising amount of shared comfort between dogs and cats. Fascinating, but there's something even deeper shaping their bond. Here's a bonus fact for sticking with us this long. Cats and dogs are actually tuned in to our emotions in ways you might not expect. Beyond introductions, the emotional atmosphere in a home has a huge impact on how cats and dogs interact. Both species pick up on human emotions, though in different ways. Dogs scan faces, body language, and tone, often mirroring moods with excitement, calmness, or empathy. Cats, subtler in expression, adjust their meows, posture, and behavior based on the emotional signals they sense from humans. This means that many conflicts between dogs and cats are influenced by how they perceive human feelings. If an owner is anxious or tense, pets may become cautious or reactive, and interactions can appear tense. Calm, relaxed energy encourages curiosity, playful engagement, and trust. The connection they form with each other is shaped more by the emotional cues they pick up from us than by any natural rivalry. Recognizing this helps shift the perspective from seeing dogs and cats as enemies to understanding them as responsive, adaptable companions. A so-called feud often reflects how they interpret the household mood. By observing their reactions, offering reassurance, and managing our own energy, we can encourage harmony, reduce miscommunication, and foster a surprisingly deep bond. So next time something goes wrong, it might not be them. It might be how they're reacting to us. And there you go. Cats and dogs aren't natural enemies. Most clashes come from miscommunication, nerves, or how we influence them. With patience and proper introductions, they can thrive together. Have you seen a surprising dog-cat duo? Share your story in the comments. If this changed how you see your pets, hit subscribe. There's plenty more to explore.